Okay, we are back. This is day 5, right? Day 1 of this live, we went across having Dr. Stephen Akintayo. Day 2, we have Dr. T. Day 3, we had Dr. Walter. Yesterday, we had Dr. TJ. And today, we're having someone amazing, right? Someone special, someone beautiful. Right, but before then, I am a choosing. Who are you? Right, to to everybody. Anyways, but so far so good. How many of us has learned one or two things from the session of Dr. Steven, the section of Mr. TJ, the section of Dr. T, the section of Dr. Walter? Right, please, if you have been part of us since day 1, just kindly type those things that you have learned. Just drop in the comment section what you have learned, from any of, the sessions that you might have, attended one way or the other. Please just drop them, drop whatever you have learned. For me, I will start from, doctor's time, when doctor was speaking about how you should not, waste your time, doing things that will not profit you in any way. And then doctor really said something that really caught me, was that start small, think big, and act fast. Right, that's one of those things that really stuck with me, at doctor session. Then we also have Dr. T. Right, Dr. T session also, one of those things that stuck with me was never fight your battle alone. Right, then for Dr. Ogena Water, right, because she corrected me on that, it is invest in relationship, very, very important. And for Dr. TJ, global report. So when they ask you that, are you jackpying? Listen, if they ask you that, are you jackpying? Tell them no, it is a global reposition. Right, so there's nothing like you did not jackpot, you only reposition yourself globally. So it's a global reposition, right? Or even if they ask you, tell them, I am a choosing. Who are you? Okay, without further ado, tonight we have someone amazing, someone great, someone special. Someone also from Houston, Texas. Beautiful lady. With great voice. I think tonight is the night where I need to bring my accent in. Right, so we have someone special tonight, all the way from the United States of America. We have Ovioma, Ivy for short. Okoro, she's a Nigerian American communication professional based in Houston, Texas. She's the founder and CEO of Evoma Communications, a boutique strategic communications and project consulting firm that supports clients to capitalize on their greatness in professional, social, and community space. A proud graduate of the University of Houston Valenti School of Communication, Ivy has nearly 15 years of experience, right? Having worked for notable organizations including Exxon Mobil Communication, Martin Luther King Jr., Prade Foundation, Aso Rock African Market, and National University. And then additionally, Ivy is an active citizen of the Great Houston community, has served in various community and cultural initiatives for more than 20 years. Right. Apart from a professional work, Ivy enjoys going on travel adventures. So I love the fact that this is in your, what's the word now? This is in your bio, Miss Ivy, right? Ivy enjoy going on travel adventure across the country and worldwide, right? Spending time outdoors, kickboxing. Wait. Sorry. I think, Ivy, when you come on live, you need to explain where kickboxing is coming in from. Kickboxing, singing, cooking, and bonding with other loved ones, right? This is the person we're bringing online today, MsIvy herself. You know, Ivy. I just want to know where that is coming from. But yes, yes, yes. It's of great privilege and an honor to have no other person than Miss Ivy herself. Good day, Miss Ivy. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you doing?
Yeah,
Good
I'm
afternoon.
good. I'm good. Yeah, fine. I'm good. I'm great. But wait. Before we go further, where is kickboxing coming from?
So, during the pandemic,
Yeah.
obviously all of us were confined to our homes or to certain activities, and I was getting very bored and I needed something recreational and active apart from staying at home all the time. So, I started to take up the hobby of kickboxing. As long as you were free of COVID, you're welcome to come in and pretty much participate in the kickboxing activities. But it is a great way to relieve stress. It's a great way to build your endurance. It's great for weight loss, and it's a lot of fun.
Wow.
I really
Wow. I mean that's good because say for instance for someone like me too, most people don't know that I box, right? So I picked it up 2021. So since 2021 I've been boxing and so the same way when I saw kickboxing I was like, kickboxing, where's this coming from? Right. So I mean it's great having you today, Miss Ivy. And how was your day? Hope it wasn't that stressful.
it's been busy, very productive. We are hitting the ground running here in the greater Houston area as we prepare for the next Global Wealth Festival
Oh
taking
yes.
place at the JW Marriott this weekend here in Houston, Texas. So a lot of exciting work is happening behind the
Oh
scenes.
yes. Oh yes. I mean, today we're talking about turning passion into profit, how to monetize your skill, right? This is the question. We'll be asking you a few questions, and also we have to just talk about the Global Wealth Festival coming September 21st to 22nd, 2024, right? But before then, aside from reading your bio, can you really tell us who is Ivy for short, right? Who are you, man? Introduce yourself.
Yes, absolutely. So my name is Ivwama Ndidi Amaka Ivy Okoro. I'm based in Houston, Texas, but obviously from my name, you know that I am Nijab proud. I am the daughter of both Abia State and Cross River, courtesy
Oh.
of mom and dad. Shout out to my mother and my father. And I grew up here in the greater Houston area. I am just someone that enjoys people. I love life. I like to have a good time. And I'm very passionate about the work that I do. If you work with me professionally, you'll find I'm very detail oriented. I love a good story, and I like to make sure that people understand what that
Mm,
purpose is behind that story being told so that we can be impactful, right?
mm,
Because everybody has something to say and everybody wants to be embraced and everybody wants to be heard. So
yes.
I think that's me in a nutshell.
Oh wow, wow, nice to meet you. I mean, the way you've been communicating since day one. You're someone that one, really would like to have, conversation with and learn one or two things from. I mean, that's really amazing. That's really amazing. I mean, you also like boasting about Nigeria, like my name is Ivy. I'm like, okay. That's our people, right? So we'll dive into today's question and we'll go straight to the point without further ado. Right. So we are acting on a career journey now, right? You have worked with some big names like Exxon Mobil and founded your own company, right? What was the turning point in your career and how did you stay motivated through challenges?
Okay, so I did experience for those of you that are familiar with the American market, over the past like 10, 15 years, the market has definitely gone through a lot of things in terms of like recessions and highs and lows, and definitely being someone that lives here in America, you definitely feel the ebbs and flows of that. And naturally, through the progression of your career, you may experience things such as a layoff. So I actually got laid off from an earlier job in my career back in 2014. 2015. And while I was trying to figure out what my next move was, I was utilizing those skill sets that I learned with my communications degree to be of support to other people's ventures and projects throughout the community. And a mentor actually encouraged me to register a business and get my business launched. And I always thought about something clever, like, okay, you know what, whenever people are trying to pronounce my name, and they're not familiar with my name, you know, I always kind of have to like emphasize it down. So I, you know, thought playfully, okay, you know, what's a fun way to incorporate my name into my company? And I just thought, okay, well, let me spell it out phonetically in a more English term, because my own Igbo name, Ivuoma, is spelled Ivuoma, but my company name is Evomah, and that is intentional. And it's just kind of a play on who I am, and also the interest of how I use my business platform, which is serving both African and also American audiences, both locally and globally. So that's how I came up with the name Ivuoma Communications. And since 2015, I've been working as a boutique agency, supporting different customer needs, from public relations to strategy to project management, events management and coordination, and everything in between. And I would say that I really started to find a drive for my business come the pandemic, because I did go back into the corporate world. I worked for ExxonMobil Corporation, one of the top oil and gas companies in the world. They even have a division there in Nigeria as well too. And I met a lot of friends from Nigeria who would come on assignment in the United States during that time. But unfortunately, as you guys can imagine, COVID made a great impact on the oil and gas industry. And when I was laid off from my corporate job, I kind of got the push, both spiritually and also with encouragement from family and friends, to just keep going. Even though I had this business, I never pursued it full time. So now, about 3 years out, I've been on this full-time path, and I've been very blessed and fortunate to have worked with a number of companies and individuals here in the diaspora to help them realize their potential and to capitalize on their greatness.
Wow. Wow. I mean, with your story, I could hear that you have also been through a lot when it comes to, you know, finding purpose, destiny. I mean, you said you were laid off in 2014, and then here you are today, you have your own, you know, company, and then you've worked with, you know, notable people also out there, which definitely you have a story to tell, right? And
Yeah, I was actually laid off twice because I've been in and out of corporate. So I was laid off in 2014 and then again in 2021. So
wow.
that's definitely a lot of adversity to overcome, but
Wow.
you know, God has been faithful.
Wow. And one thing that really struck with me with the first, you know, thing that you said was the name, right? What I wrote here is name branding. I don't know from where that came from, but yes, the way you were able to, you know, retweak your name, how it should be pronounced, how it should be spelled, you know, for the sake of your business intentionally, right? So it's like, you know, naming your brand, renaming your brand with intentionality, you know, afterwards. But thank you very much for answering question one. Right. So question two, you know, is based on entrepreneurship, right? As the founder of Evoma, you know, communications, what advice would you give young people looking to start their own business, right? How
Right.
can they capitalize on their strengths?
Absolutely. So it is very important. And I like that you mentioned strengths, right? Because I think that is very important for you to understand what your niche is and what your specialization is. You can be a jack of all trades and accomplish nothing, or you
Yes.
can be a master of one, two, maybe three very strong skills and utilize that and multiply vastly. This is one of the lessons that I've had to learn over the years, where I had to be transparent and honest with myself about, was it necessary to try to say that I do all of these things, or was it more important that I did one or two things really well and made impact? Also, remember, as you're starting a business, you're building your legacy. The greatest thing, the most valuable thing you have on this earth is your
Yep.
name. So not only doing business, you are building your legacy and building a name for yourself. So you have to be intentional about every little thing that you do as you are establishing your business. Like, you have to be so intentional that even looking at why you're selecting a color for your brand, what does that represent? What impact does that make? Does it really establish the mood and the strategy that you're going for to allude to certain audiences and so forth? Or will it be controversial? So you have to be that intentional. So my biggest thing would be, one, be intentional, and two, be focused, three, master one thing at a time. I'm not saying you can't eventually get to a point where your business specializes in 10 different specializations and strategies, but what you want to do is be the best at whatever you're doing. So be the best at number one before you jump to number two.
Thank you very much for that, Ivy. I mean, you said three things, but I wrote four, right? Understand what is your strength, right? What your strengths are. The second one, be intentional about your business. The third one is be focused, and the fifth one is master one thing at a time. I mean, for this generation, I think number four rather, is one of those things that we really need to look into. Master one thing at a time. You can't know everything at once, right? Communication, yes, information and communication take process in your mind. You need to keep doing it before it becomes an habit. From an habit, then you take it as a skill. From there, you get very intentional about it, which is very, very important, right? Thank you so much for that. Now let's move to question 3, right? Work-life balance. That's what I target, right? With such a busy professional life, how do you maintain balance between your work, personal life, and community involvement?
Oh, this is probably where I struggle the most, because I have a perfectionist nature. I want to be there and do everything at all times, but you are now no good to anyone if you cannot be good to yourself. So first and foremost, prioritize making sure that you are physically okay and spiritually okay. And what I mean by that is taking the time to make sure that every day you have gotten your rest, that you're in the best state of mind, pardon me, to achieve what you need to achieve. And third, if you are a believer, commanding your day and letting God lead you as you go into your day, because you don't know what is out there that you might be met with. And that's why we want to surrender those things unto Him, so that we can thrive and be prosperous in everything that we do and pursue daily.
Thank you so much for that. I mean, that's straightforward, right? And you're eating it at the time, right? And this is really, really, really key, because a lot of us do the rest thing, but we forget the fact of starting your day with God, letting Him lead in your day. There are some times when I wake up in the morning, all I just say is, Lord, what is happening today? Just lead me, right? Where I should not go, don't let me go there today. What you don't want me to see, don't let me see today. What you don't want me to touch, don't let my hand touch it today, right? Before I go or venture into what I'm meant to do for that day. And it works. It really, really works. But it's just the fact that most times we wake up forgetting that there is God. So it's like you wake up, the next thing is you're checking your phone. Who messaged me? Who called me? Then you carry a bag, you shower, you carry a bag at your house. It's until when you're close to where you're going, you're like, oh, Father Lord, I'm sorry, good morning. So it's like saying you're leaving the house without greeting your parents, and stuff like that. But yes, we need to put the God factor in what we are doing, right? And then this question is, personal and is straight to the point. If I may ask you, how can one monetize their skill?
You can monetize your skill by investing into yourself. Investing in yourself, that can be in the form of education. That can be in the form of having someone to coach or guide you. That can be in the form of putting yourself in an environment where you want to gain inspiration and eventually be that person or have that entity one day. I think that those things are very, very important, because how else will you stimulate yourself towards knowing that, hey, I see where I want to go, and this is the illuminated path to get there. So educating yourself, allowing yourself to have some type of mentor or accountability, and then literally putting yourself in environments where you can gain inspiration for those things that you want to achieve, or that person that you would like to become.
Hmm. Thank you very, very much. So self-development, done down to education, getting to, know more about what you want to do, and then keep doing them actively, right? With that, you are able to monetize, whatever your skills are, which is very, very important, because
Very.
every single thing. Yes, please.
Oh yeah, very important. One thing I forgot to emphasize on the education part, because sometimes finances can be a burden or a reason why we don't pursue education. Look for alternatives for pursuing those opportunities. If your education has to first start from you going to the library to read a book or watching a YouTube video, do that. If you have to start with doing free certifications, do that. If you have to strategically figure out how to raise funds to eventually get that certification or get the type of education that you are wanting to pursue, then take your time to get to those steps as well, because sometimes people neglect the educational part because they think that it's a rocky road and it's impassable, but there's always ways around it.
Thank you
So I just
very
want to
much.
add that little tidbit to the education portion.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for that, Ivy. Tonight has really been, impactful, because I mean, from the time of when we are Dr. Day One, everybody from Doctor down to TJ, down to Dr. T, down to Dr. Walter, every single person keeps saying the word, development in terms of, mentorship, seek a mentor, accountable partner that is going to put you through, and even Dr. TJ broke it down yesterday to say there's a difference between a mentor, a coach, and a teacher, right? Because most times we mix everything up together, and I mean, he actually had to give us the breakdown of how all of them connect to each other. Take for instance, for DSA, if you are a mentee under DSA, obviously is your coach. The same time is also your mentor. So it's like
Right.
strangling you with one rope, right? And you know how DSA could be sometimes, making sure that you achieve this, and he say, no, do this. This is the next thing to do, and you are more accountable to him. He's there to advise you. Whichever, I mean, he's one of those few people that I know that God has placed up there, and he can still have time to chat with you. Like if you send him a message now, you reply, no matter who is sending the message. All right, so
Right.
that's just to show how devoted he is to grooming people also. Right, so for everybody watching this live, please kindly share this live. One way or the other is going to be impactful to people. What one or two things that you have learned, you can also drop at the comment section while we proceed. God bless. So now we are asking on personal growth, right? What skills or habits should or would you recommend to young people who want to grow both professionally and personally?
Okay, so I'm going to recommend some skill sets that I think, regardless of if you're located in Nigeria or in Dubai or in the United States or wherever, that they can always come into handy and they will be effective. First, and this is something that I have been personally observing over and over and over again, and I just want for our people to get better at this. Please, when you are sending out professional correspondence, make sure that you proofread, make sure that what you are sending out is legible, make sure that you are using proper punctuation, make sure that you are using the right verbiage and words to get your message across. I am saying this for a reason, and I see this frequently, and I know that sometimes it may not be of importance to a lot of people, but me being a communications professional and I'm working on a lot of transactions on behalf of clients, I understand the urgency and the impression that of how you communicate on paper, whether it's through email correspondence, a newsletter, or a flyer, or whatever the case may be, depending on the audience that you're trying to target, they're taking into consideration how that information is delivered. So please, 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 please make sure that you are always proofreading anything that you're about to put out in business correspondence or in a public space. Secondly, I think that this has already been emphasized, of course, but it's imperative for you to have some type of guidance or leader or person that holds you accountable, because ultimately we want to see you succeed, right? It's important to hold yourself accountable, but it's good to have maybe one or two people that care enough about you to succeed that you don't mind letting them hold you accountable when they know that you're not doing your best. And they're coming to you from a place of love as well, and a place of wanting to see you at the mountaintop. And then, did I miss
yes,
part of
please.
that question?
No, go ahead, please.
Okay, all right. And then repeat the question one more time for me. I want to make sure I've answered every part of it.
Okay. So the question is, what skill or habit would you recommend to young people who wants to grow both professionally, yes, and personally?
Okay, and then also knowing how to conduct yourself in a business environment, making eye contact with people, shaking hands, making sure that once you establish a business contact, that you follow up in at least 48 hours or less to maintain the integrity of that relationship, you know. And then also be of your word. If you say that you're going to do something, do that thing. If there's a reason why you can't follow through on that, be transparent. Don't give people opportunities to question your integrity. Try to be transparent about the work that you do, and also be timely as well. Try to do that work in a proficient manner so that you can be impactful, so that the next time that client or that organization is looking for someone to do another project, you're the first person that they call and no one else. So these are skill sets that will carry you through life, no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's now in 2024 or 10 or 20 or 30 years from now. All of these skill sets are imperative for your success.
Thank you very much, MsIvy. I mean, first, proofread, communication is key. Be transparent with what you do and be timely, right? I mean, when it comes to all of this, we can still say that one should be very professional and have the excellent spirit in you, because excellence, deals with time, communication, how you put all the things you're meant to say with
Right.
punctuations, yes, and how to go with them, yeah. So according to your bio, you said you love to travel, right? So we'll take it this way. We'll take it this way. I mean, you love to travel. How has exploring different places and culture influenced your approach to business and communication?
Oh, it has influenced my approach to business and communication tremendously. I will use a great example. A couple of years ago, I supported a client's project by traveling to Abu Dhabi and Dubai. And when I arrived there, I just noticed a lot of differences that I don't see in American culture, from the way that the people dress to the way that people communicate with you.
Okay.
Hello, am I still there? I
Yes,
think I
yes,
had
please.
something pop up. Okay. All right. So I was saying that I traveled to the UAE, to Abu Dhabi and Dubai, and definitely a very different environment from when I was in the United States. A little bit more conservative in their dressing, very formal in how they speak and approach you, and so forth. And the good thing for me is that coming from Nigerian heritage, it wasn't a surprise for me, right? I feel as though my culture, my heritage has prepared me to be in all different types of spaces. So you know, it makes me appreciate the intentionality that so many people do to ensure that when you come into their country, that you understand the value of who they are, you understand the respect that they're showing you, and you also know to reciprocate that respect as well. And then it also makes you appreciate those differences, because it's those differences make us very beautiful.
Yes.
I've also have traveled right next door here to the United States, to Mexico, and a lot of times there's a lot of stereotypes about Mexico that before going to Mexico, I used to keep in my head from childhood, from what I would hear, you know, about this and that, and, you know, and everything. But when I got to Mexico, to know that these are some of the most beautiful and kind people I have ever met in my life.
Wow.
And all they wanted to do was to make sure that I was happy and to see me smile. It just made me appreciate so much just the beauty of life, and how beautiful human nature is. And we should really appreciate that about one another. And then let me bring it home. Whenever I come back to Nigeria, it's I don't know how to describe it, but it's always exciting. And I want to say hi to my family and friends that are watching back in Nigeria. I miss you guys and I love you very much. Thank you for watching. But coming home to Nigeria as well too, you know, you see a different type of culture, a different type of approach,
Oh, yes.
different styles of communication, but it's also beautiful, and it's still an intentionality and an appreciation that we should not take for granted. You know, all of these four different countries and environments are so different, so many differences, but so many commonalities. And that's what makes our world go round. That's what makes life beautiful. That's God's intention. And so we should definitely consider those things all the time, because people work hard in order to ensure that, you know, that we get what we need every single day. When you're just walking to the market or into the store to go buy something, there was some type of supply chain that took place in order for you to get that product that is well furnished, or the meal that's been well prepared for you and your family to enjoy when you get home. Or if you're even just traveling abroad and then you're staying in a night's accommodation in a hotel, somebody took the time to build that hotel, to make that hotel bed, to make sure that there's lights in the hotel room, to make sure that you have clean running water. So we have to be very, very respectful, and we have to be appreciative whenever we're in these environments as well. And when someone comes to your home, you reciprocate that respect as well, because you would want them to treat you the way that you want to be treated as well. And you should always keep that in mind in business and in life.
Thank you so much. I mean, your experience from Abu Dhabi, Dubai, down to Mexico, down to Nigeria, and then implementing it into business is really, really amazing. A lot of time, like it is, you know, I keep telling people that until you go to a place, you really can't tell how it is. What you see online in news, why they call it news is not because of, if you notice, the positive news don't really travel far, more like the negative one. So the negative news is like, yes, the top one, and that's why they are newscaster. They're just there to give us what they want to give us, but like filter how you carry the information. I feel like experience it, right? See other people's point of view, implement it, filter what you are going to take from them, and then, you know, you are good to go, right? Thank you for that, MsIvy. So this one majorly is for the women. Empowering women in communications, right? So what advice do you have for young women wanting to break into the communication industry?
Okay, you guys probably already heard this in my introduction at the very beginning of my bio, but I really live by this, and this is my company motto. Women, capitalize on your greatness. Capitalize on who you are. Capitalize on those unique things that make you so different than any other individual when you are going into business. Be yourself. You know, I am someone that I'm not going to lie, like getting deeper into business and becoming more of an entrepreneur from the corporate world was a bit intimidating for me, because I work with a lot of men often. They have these big voices. Sometimes when you're articulating a point, they think that you are being soft, or, you know, you're being sensitive and so forth. When the truth of the matter is that you are trying to articulate your point. But you have to have confidence in who you are, and then don't lose yourself in the midst of trying to deliver those points that you want to get across in business. You have to figure out what your art form is, literally, when it comes to your style of business, how you present yourself, how you get your point across, how to control your demeanor and your character, especially in certain situations where there may be a lot of exchange, or there might be a lot of pressure riding on you. You have to rise above that and show your greatness in those moments, and that will get across. And trust me, when you start to master those skills, you don't have to even blow your own horn. Other people will sing your praise. You just keep your head down and you stay focused and you capitalize on your greatness.
Capitalize on your greatness. Wow, on your greatness. I mean, one of the major thing here is be yourself, right? I held on to that one because a lot of time in this generation, everybody wants to copy everybody, right? Some people wants to be like this person. I'm not saying you should not have role models. I'm not saying you should not have, people you look up to, but still be yourself in all of those things. Try to know who you are, right?
Right.
Capitalize on your greatness, right? So whatever has brought you to limelight, quickly capitalize on it before the next phase, that is coming for you. Then the next one is be confident in who you are, right? Be very confident about it. Know how to, communicate who you are, right? Hone your ground, no matter who is there. Speak up, right? When you're meant to speak up. Don't be too shy. Don't be timid because they ask you a question, you're like, oh, I'm not worthy to be here. You earn to be there. If you are not worthy to be there, you won't be there in the first place. So whenever you have an opportunity to be in a place, so speak up in such places, right? So the next question down to, I observe that a lot of people more often time work and work and work and work and work and don't have the point of resting or don't have the point of activity. So for instance, for me, growing up, I believe that there's this saying when I was growing up that, oh, great people always stay focused. They are not playful. They wake up in the morning. The next thing is they're writing the vision down. They're exploring, different stuff. And as I begin to grow up, I discovered that, no, what makes you great is the fact that you are working and you also have time for other things, other leisure stuff. For instance, if I'm not boxing, I am either watching movie. If I'm not watching movie, I am playing golf. If I'm not playing golf, maybe I'm playing, PS4. I have a PS4 Pro. I play GTA, play Call of Duty, and all those things at my leisure time, right? So now this question is, is straightforward. It is saying beside your work, you enjoy activities like kickboxing and singing, right? How important is it for young people to have habits outside their professional life?
It is very important. I think having recreational and spiritual activities outside of your professional ventures is very, very important. I think that you have to, it's important to figure out that work-life balance, and especially in terms of whatever environments that you're in. But I also want to preference as well, too, that there are seasons sometimes where you are going to have to make sacrifices, and sacrifices that you may not enjoy. So there may have to be a period of time where the recreation has to stop, because you have to be so focused on making sure that you meet that milestone. But once you meet that milestone, feel free to celebrate. And then once you have figured out the regular flow of whatever your professional ventures are, make sure that you incorporate it here into what you do. So for example, in my life at this moment, obviously we are in high mode right now when it comes to getting ready for the conference, and then I also have other projects. But over the weekend, I took a break and I went and celebrated a friend's my friend's dad's birthday with their friends and family, and we were at the park and we were listening to music, and it was a lot of fun. And even though it was just a good few hours that I took away from my busy lifestyle, it made a difference because I was able to sit and just be still for a moment and just really appreciate the beauty of life and appreciate the outdoors, even though it's still hot in Houston right now. But it refreshed me and it recharged me to continue to run my race professionally. So And yes, listen to your body, because even when you do put your head down for a season, if you start to feel overwhelmed, again, I think I said this earlier in the chat, you are no good to no one if you're not any good to yourself. So sometimes your body, if you overwork yourself, your body will force you to shut down. Now, how that happens, like, we don't want it to be to the extreme. I have a very good friend that unfortunately one time she overworked herself into being in the hospital bed. It wasn't good. And we want that. So you have to know yourself. You have to know what your limitations are. You have to know when you have the ability to charge on and press forward without cease, and then you have to know when it's okay to turn on and turn off. To each their own.
Oh, thank you very much. First off, listen to your body, right? Don't let anybody deceive you. Don't let anybody over motivate you to say, as a great person, you sleep 4 times in a day. After sleeping for 4 times in a day, you wake up in the middle of the night, you write the vision, you look far, right?
Right.
Motivation will motivate you, but please, brothers and sisters, create time to sleep, rest, and eat well. There's a reason, right?
There's a reason.
Most times when I tell people that, if you look at the story of Elijah, when the Spirit of the Lord was telling him, say, heat for the journey ahead is far, right? So there are some times that your problem is not reading, your problem is not sleeping, you are hungry, go and eat, right? Sometimes your problem is not food, your problem is sleeping. When you know when to do all of these things, please sleep. Don't let anybody over motivate you that you don't need to sleep. Sleep, when you're meant to sleep. So yeah, thank you so much, MsIvy, for that. I'll be going straight to the next question. 2 more questions before we talk about GWF. Now, adapting to change in a fast changing world, what's that one key skill young people, young professionals should focus on to stay relevant in their field? This is more like relevancy. What is that one skill that they should have that can make them stay relevant? It might not be 1, it might be 2, it might be 3, but just one thing that will make them stay relevant in their skill in today, economy and stuff.
Yes, so I would say making sure that you are adept to some of the latest technologies. You may not necessarily be an IT person, but I think that in the world that we're living in, you need to know, especially whatever your field of specialization is, the tools and resources that are going to be effective for making impact professionally. So know those tools and applications. So, for example, in the communications world, things are often changing, and there's a lot of transformation happening right now when it comes to public relations, when it comes to digital marketing, and there are changes of tools that we're starting to see utilization of that we didn't see 10 or 15 years ago. And so, as a professional, I am having to make sure that I learn and adapt to knowing those tools and resources, like how, for example, ChatGPT.
Yeah.
How am I able to utilize that in my day-to-day professionally in the way that is going to be impactful without compromising my work or integrity, of course, but still utilizing it in a way that it will help me to support the work that I do or the work that I do for my clients. And I'm, of course, speaking hypothetically. Or if you have certain invoicing systems that you're using for your business, is it time to change to a more effective invoicing system that will meet the needs to ensure that you're bookkeeping properly, you're getting invoices and payments processed in a timely manner? So definitely make sure that you stay adept to the latest technologies in terms of the focus of your business or your specialization or industry.
Oh, thank you so much. And I mean, like you said, one need to be up to date on any work that you're doing, right? Be up to date with the technology around it. Be up to date. I have someone who joined this live. I don't know if he's still on this live. He flies drone, right?
Right.
He flies drone professionally. That's what he does for a living, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when he started, flying the drone, he started with DJI drone, and before we know it, he started flying an FPV drone, right? At some point, there was a time where he showed on Instagram a particular, video of when he was practicing how to fly an FPV drone. Even up until now, he still go online to, like, you know, use his simulator to fly the drone. That's semi TV, whatever, right? So he was able to do all of those things and still be relevant and keep learning on that field, because the truth is the world is changing. It's a global market, right? What you can purchase today, you might not be able to purchase it tomorrow. So you need to keep being relevant and keep following suit. And yes, for the Nigerians on this call, in case you're trying to use any of those social media or you're using any of the app and it's not working, listen, just look at the app and tell the app, I am a choosing. Who are you? Right. So I mean, Nigerians don't understand that statement right now. So yes, I'm going to say this. This is just something that I want you to, you know, more like answer, and if people can be part of, right? What's the next, what is next for Evoma Communications? You know, any exciting projects you're currently working on that people can also be part of?
Okay. So, I normally publish on my official IG for my business, which is Evoma, at Evoma, EVOMAH, some of the latest projects. So right now, Evoma Communications is 100% Global Wealth Festival. That is that's our war cry this week. We are very excited about deep diving into that. I know we're going to talk about that in a couple of moments, but going into the rest of 2020, we're really excited. I was recently invited to do a keynote speech with an organization here in the greater Houston area, African Think Tank. You can follow them on Instagram at African Think Tank. That speech and presentation will be taking place at the very end of October 2024. So we're very excited about that. I'm also excited about representing and supporting a lot of my clients with their upcoming projects, such as AMPA, which is the Association of Nigerian Physicians in America. Shout out to AMPA Houston chapter and AMPA USA Global and North America. They do incredible work both locally in the communities across the United States and then also abroad in Nigeria. So again, I really, really love that I get the opportunity to work with organizations and companies and networks and individuals that are really making an impact, whether it's through their businesses or their philanthropy or their community work. So always exciting day every day at my communications.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. This last one before we talk about GWF is just, I mean, just like a little game though. Let's do something rapid, right? So your favorite city you have traveled to, one, right? Your dream vacation spot, two. Then a food you can't live without, like you love. So let's go. This is a challenge time. So yeah.
Oh, that's too many. But well, let's do it. A city that I've been here before, but I can't wait to get back, and it's right around the corner. Cabo, Mexico.
Oh,
one.
wow.
What was the second one?
The next one is your dream vacation spot.
Oh, my dream vacation spot. Oh gosh, I have too many of those, but the one that pops up in my head at the moment is Fiji too.
Oh wow. Wow. Okay. Then a food you can't live without.
Oh man, can I have one Nigerian and one American?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? Yes, go.
Okay. So I cannot live without egusi soup. Specifically my mother's egusi soup. Okay, that's one. And then I cannot live without lasagna.
Oh wow. Well, as a Nigerian, I don't know what lasagna is, right? But I can relate to egusi soup because I mean I'm a Yoruba guy and I'm a Nigerian, right? So thank you for answering that. I mean, for me, I've never been to Mexico before, but you know what we watch in the movie also sometimes it looks a bit dicey, like you said. But you know, one need to get there to really experience what the city, the nation is all about before you get. It's like the same way when you know some channels are talking about Nigeria, especially Lagos. You know, Nigeria, they use the most rural area you can ever imagine, right? I mean, I've had someone in the US ask me. I have someone in the US ask me one time, you know, saying that, oh, do you guys actually have phones in Africa? And I'm like, are you kidding kidding me? Yes. Someone asked me a question too. You know, in South Africa, right? She's a white. She was like, oh, I've heard a lot about Nigeria. Do you people really have do you have any airports? And I'm like, what do you take us for? Do you think we live in the zoo or what? Right. So
Meanwhile, you guys, so there's people in Nigeria living better than I am here in America.
oh, true.
We're not
True.
ready to have that conversation though.
True. So
We're not
a
ready to have
a long
that
time, you know, the TV stations or broadcasting station always talk about, let's say for instance, the art, and then people, you know, living inside the desert. So that's the picture of what most people have about Africa. But we thank God
Right,
that we
right.
have, we have a lot of African American, Nigerian American, you know, who are really changing the narrative, right, of the next step that, you know, the Africa community is actually willing to do. Take for instance what Dr. Stephen Akintayo is about to do in Houston, Texas, and this is bringing us down to GWF, the Global Wealth Festival, rather,
Right.
right? And at the Global Wealth Festival, I know that you have a lot of, you know, commitment as regards this program. So if I may ask, for those persons who don't really have much idea on what the Global Wealth Festival is all about, can you just share a little light, since you're part of the community and then the team, right? So can you tell us what the Global Wealth Festival is all about?
Absolutely. So Global Wealth Festival is for anyone who is inspired to change your life, to go from one level to another. So we are talking about all things when it comes to understanding how to truly build and prioritize wealth, how to leverage on your professional network, leverage on your skill set to multiply that and go further than you've ever gone before. And again, we talked earlier in this chat about making sure that you invest in yourself in order for you to go to the next level. There are some investments that when you start, it's maybe free for you to do, or it may be something that's accessible. And then there's some investments that are going to hurt, but it hurts with purpose. And the reason why I say that it hurts with purpose is because you are getting out of your comfort zone. Because in order for you to go to where you have never been before, you have to take a risk sometimes and be in environments and be led by and coached by individuals who have found that promised land, that can tell you and show you what you have not done, or maybe what you continue to make a mistake on. And having the ability to have focused time, not just for a few hours, but for 2 whole days, to see some of the world's best professionals who are getting on the stage and giving you this wealth of resources and knowledge, whether you attend virtually or you attend in person here in Houston, it's going to make a great difference in your life. I will say, personally speaking, since meeting Dr. Akintayo, there are so many things that I am learning and that I'm gradually starting to implement into my life, because just like the individuals that will be coming to this conference to learn this knowledge, I too want to take my business to the next level. I also want to see where I can actually capitalize on my own greatness and experience a transformation that I've never seen before in my life. And you will get all of that and more at Global Wealth Festival. We have a number of different panel sessions with speakers and panelists and presenters that are going to give you a wealth of information that will carry you through the rest of 2024 and into 2025 and beyond. So that's what I would say about that.
Thank you. Thank you very much about that. And for those of you that if you're in Houston, Texas, you can be part of the Global Wealth Festival, you know, on site. And even if you're in Houston, Texas, or anywhere in the US, LA, New York, you know, Africa, Malawi, Ethiopia,
Dallas,
South Africa, yes,
wherever.
Dallas, you know, you're able to be part of the Global Wealth Festival virtually, right? Because we are creating a virtual experience and also an on-site experience, right? So
Right,
even
that's
virtually,
correct.
you are able to, you know, pass what's the word now? Virtually, you're able to pass the message, because the truth is, anyone who can be part of the Global Wealth Festival of such kind, you should know that that person have relevance in terms of what they do. So your communication should even start from your connection. Your communication should start even virtually, right? So reach out to someone virtually. Oh, how you do this? Is what I do for a living. Because even online there will be breakout session, right? Because I could see what the plan for the program is all about, and I was amazed by what the team for the Global Word Festival has put together. You all have really done a lot of job. I'll be sincere. I saw a video today where, you know, Doctor also went to the venue today to have a little
Yes. Walk through.
sightseeing and whatever.
Yes, I
Yes,
see it.
walk through with the
Yeah.
team. Oh yes. So it's really amazing. And if you want to be part of the Global Wealth Festival, I have pinned down the link, right? So www.stephenakintayo.com/GWFUSA. Right. This is one of the biggest global wealth festival. I mean, Dr. Cosmos Maduka will be there sharing his story. And also, if you're there on site, right, this is the first time I'm actually seeing an event of such having 2 meals per day. Right, it's a 2-day event, right? So you're taking
Yeah.
breakfast and lunch. I'm like, what? I wish I'm in the US. That's the best part for me. After communication, you have gone to connect, and then the next thing is so right now it's time for us to have our lunch. Okay. I like this part, right? So you can hardly find programs like this that will, you know, give such avenue. And the truth is, one of those major things that Nigeria, and especially where I'm from, the Yorubas are known for is hospitality, right? Especially Nigerians, they are good with hospitality. Imagine having a wealth conference and you're talking about food, which on a normal day you should not be talking about food. Everything's supposed to be about, you know, getting go straight to the production, finish what you're meant to do, and then go out. Okay, is there an option for vendor setup? Okay, yes. So Miss Ivy, that's a question for you. Is there an option for vendor setup?
Hi, and I see that's my friend Rosie. Hi, Rosie. So good to see you on the chat. Actually, yes, we may have some vendor options. What I would encourage you to do, if you can, send me a DM, and then I'll speak with you directly about how to get connected for that. Yes, so thank you for mentioning that.
Okay, yeah. So you can be part of the vendor, like Miss Ivy just made mention right now, and then I'm so certain I can't wait for September 21st to 22nd. It's a 2-day back-to-back, you know, power packed, you know, program for you to be part of, and you can actually advance what you do. Okay, when is it? It is September 21st to the 22nd, 2024. Right, so I will be there virtually. If not because of all the things I have, I should have been in the US for the conference. But yes, I'll be there virtually, you know, for the experience and what of you. But yes, we are here for the main work, and then the main work is the global, you know, Wealth Festival. And I cannot wait to actually see each and every one of you in that same, you know, conference. And thank you once again, Miss Ivy, for your time. I know how busy your schedule are, or how busy your schedule is right now. You know, and how hot roasting is at the moment. But yes. I know.
Yes, it's quite hot. Yes, and then I want to say hi to my bestie Uzo. I see you there. Hey, my sister. So
Oh wow.
once again, it's this Saturday and Sunday, September 21st, 22nd at the JW Marriott and the Galleria, and we do have registration open right now, so you can go to stephenakintayo.com/GWFUSA. You can also put www.globalwealthfestival.com for more details as well. And then if you're ready to go ahead and sign up, the registration is live right now on Eventbrite.
Oh, thank you very much, Miss Ivy, and I hope to see you when next we have to see again. I should be in the US next year, God willing. So I will try to visit almost everybody. All right. So yes, that will be part
I
of my
can't
to-do
wait.
list. Yes. Thank you very much for tonight's section, and I can't wait to actually meet us at the Global Wealth Festival. Do have a lovely night rest and have a good day tomorrow and the rest of your day. I mean, this is US. Bye bye. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank
Oh
you.
yes, ma'am. So that is Miss Ivy for short. You know, sharing our experience and then all the things that she has been part of, you know, and also being part of the Global Wealth Festival 2024. Right, without further ado, my name remains White Olasokomi Barry, popularly known as Son of the Prophet. Yes, I think right now I'm even I'm looking down some. Oh no, how more Tony? Oh yeah, so yeah. We hope to see each and every one of you same time tomorrow. Tomorrow we're also bringing someone great, you know, to talk about the Global World Festival, but at the same time we get to learn from them. It's not just about talking about the Global World Festival, but what have we been able to learn from? Someone sent me a message yesterday saying that I should please not delete I should not delete any of the video of all the sessions that we have had, that it has really been impactful. They would love to rewatch it. I mean, this is more like a master class because a lot of people will pay, you know, all the speakers for their time. I know most of them, you know, charge per hour, charge per minute, charge per anything chargeable, right? So, but thank you very much once again, everybody, for being part of this live session. I can't wait to actually have you at the Global World Festival. Do have a lovely night, and thank you once again, Dr. Stephen Akintayo, for the privilege given to me. I do not take it for granted. See you all tomorrow. Same time, same channel, same station. Voila.